For me, you never met a nigga like me, girl. I mean, straight up. You never met a nigga like me. I'm one of a kind. But this why I don't. I stay fly, pocket full of dead guys. Yeah, I'm a hustler, baby. Damn right, I'ma get it how I get it, live how I live it. Stand in the paint, only move with my pivot. Never heard anybody killing in a minute.
Hi everyone, my name is Cassie and this is my channel, Cassie with the Gems. This is the very first video to my new YouTube channel. This channel is going to be directed on content from business, entrepreneurship, tech, and the beauty industry. The tips that I provide are not going to be only based for the beauty industry itself, more of business in total. So the things that I say can be applied to different industries and different businesses. I hope with this channel that you're able to gain insight that's going to help you either start your business or grow your business. And I hope that you're able to have some sort of assistance from me on your entrepreneurial journey. So, just to give you a brief background on myself, I'm 28, I have 2 children. I am the owner of 4 businesses, 3 of which are in the beauty industry, and then 1 is a consulting company. I am in my final month of my MBA, my master's program, concentration in digital entrepreneurship. I do have a 4.0 GPA, I take pride in that. And come January, I am starting my doctorate program with a concentration in strategy and innovation. So, to jump right in on our very first video for the new channel, the topic that I chose is 6 things for you to consider when you're starting your business. So, let's jump on in. Number 1 is personal evaluation. So by personal evaluation, it means for you to sit back and think of the reason why you're wanting to start a business. And it could range from financial gain to actual you being tied emotionally to the business. Like, let's say, for instance, you are a hairstylist and you've always done hair. It's something that you've always done. You're tied to it. You love doing it. You are emotionally tied to that business. It's all you know. So either business is perfectly fine. You can actually just be in it for the financial gain as far as it's something you're good at. You enjoy doing it to a certain extent and you know that you can make money off of it, or something that you're emotionally tied to, that you love doing and that you want to continue doing for forever. And the reason why I say both is fine because you can go into business for 2 separate reasons. Like, you can go into it just for the actual purpose of gaining an income, creating income for yourself, and eventually getting out of it and going to something else, which is perfectly fine. It happens all the time. Or you can go into it with the intent of building longevity, something that you can build for yourself to be passed down from generation to generation and so on, something that you love doing and enjoy doing. Either is fine and either can make you money. The reason why I say to actually evaluate your personal reason why you want to do it is because, as we all know, business is difficult, entrepreneurship is difficult. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. So when you know the reason why you're doing what you're doing, it's easy for you to be motivated, self-motivated, to understand why you need to push further. So when it comes to that moment to where you're having a hard time, your business is struggling, or you have a lot on your plate, you're emotionally tired, you can hone in on that reason why you're doing what you're doing, whatever emotional tie you have to it, and that's going to give you the motivation to push further and go beyond. With financial gain only being your reason for starting a business, you don't have that same drive in a sense, so whenever it becomes difficult, you're more liable to quit because you're not emotionally tied to it. So if you stop, you stop. It's not a deal breaker. It's not something that's going to hurt you in that sense. So, like I said, both is perfectly fine. Both can be successful businesses, and both are fine as far as avenues for you to go. So the first thing for you to do whenever you're considering starting a business is to do a personal evaluation on why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. Alright, so the next thing for you to do, you've done your personal evaluation, next you need to do a market analysis. And by market analysis, you need to look at the industry that you're planning on going into and making sure that it actually is worth going into and it has a positive trajectory. So we're going to look at the beauty industry because that's just the quickest one for us to reference to. So with the beauty industry, in 2019, it was valued at $354 billion, give or take. And they projected for it to continue to increase, and by 2023 to be valued at over $800 billion. So it's not being projected as slowing down at any bit. It's projected to continue to grow and build and so on. So let's look a bit deeper. So now we see overall the total revenue within the beauty industry is valued at $354 billion. Okay, so what makes up that amount? Let's look at the market shares. Within the beauty industry, hair care holds the highest segment at 24%. Following that is skincare at about 23.7%, and then cosmetics at about 14%. And then it goes on into smaller segments of perfume and so on. So, with hair care being the highest at 24%, they're holding the largest amount of the market share out of that $354 billion. And these numbers are calculated based off of the reportings of the revenue from the companies that are within the industry. So with that, if I were interested in actually opening a hair salon or so, I would look at my market and I would see, okay, so within my market, it is a positive market. It is going to continue to grow, but also hair care is holding the highest value out of all of the markets. So I'm going to say, okay, that's a pretty good market for me to go into. Let's look at the top competitors. L'Oreal is rated the highest within the beauty industry in general as far as their reported revenue, and they have been for some time. So L'Oreal has reported $35 billion in their revenue for 2019. So out of that $354 billion, L'Oreal holds $35 billion, which is a good chunk of it. And then it's broken on, they do have some close competitors, but L'Oreal is the lead. So that's what I mean by market analysis. Let me look at my market. Let me look to see if it has a positive trajectory. Let me look to see what the market shares actually are equate to. And then also let me look to see who the top competitors are and what it's looking like. So I want to dig deep into the market before I actually invest my money into it to see exactly what it actually entails and what is going on within my market. So do your market research for whatever industry you choose to go into and make sure it is a good market. So with that, at this point, I have done my personal evaluation. I've determined why I want to start my business. I've done my market analysis. I have determined that, yes, this is a good market and it is positive. It's something that I can invest into. Now I need to go ahead and do an operational budget. And by operational budget, I mean determining the amount of money that you are comfortable and able to put into your business to actually start your business and fund your business. So whatever value you choose to come up with, whether it's $500 or $5,000, you need to break it down. Create an Excel document is pretty simple and quick. And break it down. Out of this $5,000, where is the money going to be allocated? So whether that is your licenses, your inventory, your software, your e-commerce platform, any apps you choose to use that are tied into your branding or whatever you choose to do. You need to break down every expense that comes along with the business, starting the business and funding the business, and how much you're comfortable with spending and where the money is going to go. So break it down. Once you determine all of your fees, all of your expenses that you're going to spend, at that point, let's say that it's too high and the amount that you need to spend doesn't equal to the amount that you have available for you to spend. So then you need to go back to your list and determine, okay, what can I get rid of? What is actually not a necessity at this moment and I can continue to run the business without? And then later on down the line, once additional funds become available, I can go back and get the things that I need. So if it's too low, if your budget is $5,000 and you've broken it down and you're only going to spend $3,500, so you have an extra $1,500 that you can allocate to somewhere else, then great. You can go back and see what can I get additional of. Maybe you can get additional inventory. Maybe you can increase your plan on whatever software you're going to use. You can determine wherever you need to put the money that you have, or maybe you just are going to put in the bank for a rainy day and you don't need to use it for anything, which is good as well. But the operational budget lets you know where you're going to go, what you're going to spend your money on, and it makes you lets you keep track of everything so that you're not going over your budget and in a sticky situation. So keep a budget. Try to stay, sometimes me myself, I go outside of my budget, but try to stay on top of it as best as you can, because that's going to help you with your financial tracking later on down the line. Just start off by tracking your expenses, allocating everything, and knowing where all of your money is going to go. That's going to help you in the long run tremendously. So that's step number 3. Alright, so now I have done my personal evaluation, I have done my market research, I have created my operational budget. Next thing for you to do is make it legal. So technically you are able to run a business for, I believe, up to 2 years as a hobby, quote unquote, before you have to make it a legal entity. So yes, that is true, but if I see this business going somewhere long term and I see myself continuing to build this business and grow this business, I'm going to go ahead and make it legal, because that's going to help me and open different avenues for me. Meaning I can now open a business bank account, I can now get additional funding for my business, I can now get a business loan, I can get a business credit card, I can build my business credit. There's so many different options that come along with making your business legal. So it is the best avenue for you to go down whenever you're actually planning on building a business and not just a side hustle or a hobby. When you build your business, make it legal, choose a legal entity, file it, build it, and work from there. That's step number 4. Step number 5. Step number 5 is to determine your branding. And your brand is bigger than a logo, a stamp, your colors. A brand is your image, what your company portrays, what your people feel like when they see your company, the aura, the vibe you're giving. That all ties into your brand, what your image is. So when I say determine your brand, you need to think, okay, what is it that I want people to think whenever they see my company? What is it that I want them to feel? So is it that my company gives you that extra boost of confidence? My company helps you and we're nurturing? Whatever you want people to feel whenever they think of your brand, that's what you need to determine. So whenever you determine the actual vibe, the aura, what your brand will hold, at that point you can go ahead and narrow it down to, okay, what color palettes aesthetically like vibe with what I want my company to be portrayed as. You create your logo, you create your image, you create your aesthetic theme, and then you go on from there. But your brand is bigger than just a logo itself. It is the image of your company. So to give you an example, let's take Publix into consideration. So if I'm going grocery shopping and I have the option of going shopping at Walmart, and I know at Walmart I'm going to get these low-priced items, and my bills are not going to come out as high as it would if I were to go to a more expensive store. But I know at Publix, if I go to Publix, the quality of the customer service that I'm going to receive is going to be exceptional. The quality of the food that I'm going to receive is going to be exceptional, and the overall experience at Publix is a much different experience than experience at Walmart. So I'd rather go and shop at Publix, even though I'm going to be spending a higher amount of money, because of the brand. I believe in the brand, I'm comfortable with the brand, and I back the brand. So that's what branding comes down to. It's what gives you a competitive edge amongst your industry. So with that, it helps you to stand out. If the same goes for Starbucks, I can go and get this $1 cup of coffee, or I can go to Starbucks and get this $5 cup of coffee. Same goes for Chick-fil-A, Target, all these other companies that are maybe pricier as far as their items than their competition, but the quality of the service, the quality of the item itself, and the brand itself, the image that they have built and they represent, is what allows other customers to continue to go to them regardless of the price. I'm willing to spend the extra amount of money because of the brand, because of the overall service and everything that comes along with shopping with this brand. So you need to determine your brand image, create a brand, and it's going to allow you to scale your business and actually build something within your industry. Whether you believe that your industry is saturated or not, branding is what's going to set you apart. It's what's going to give you recognition, and what's going to allow you to stand out amongst your competitors. Build a brand, not just a business. That is if you don't take anything from this, the key thing, build a brand, not a business. Okay. So now, at this point, I have done my personal evaluation, I've done my market research, I have created my operational budget, I've made my business legal, I've created my brand. Now, what's next? The final and last step is to hustle. Hustle. That's it. Build your business, work hard every day, be consistent, show up, do what you're supposed to do for your company, put your love into it, put your all into it, and work hard and build your business. That's the final step. You've done everything you need to do. Now you need to be consistent, show up every day, be present, and build your business. That's it. These are 6 things that you should consider whenever you're wanting to start your business, and break down and analyze each thing while you're in the process of growing and building your business. These are my suggestions. They have worked for me. I believe they'll work for you as well. Maybe all of these you don't need at the moment, but they're all things that should be considered whenever you're in your process at some point or another in building your company and building your brand. So I'm going to be coming to you guys weekly with different videos, different tips and tricks. I hope that today I was able to give you some sort of insight, some sort of knowledge that will help you along your journey. If you have any suggestions on videos that you want me to create, different topics you want me to touch on, then feel free to drop it in the comments, or you can reach out to me. My personal site is cassiewiththegems.com. You can contact me there. My consulting company is CEO Marketing Consulting. Our website is creativeCEOmarketing.com. You can reach me there as well, or you can just give us a comment. I'll always be responding to all comments that we receive, and I'll be coming in weekly, like I said, with different videos. So I hope that you are able to continue to grow your business, and I hope that I'm able to assist you on your journey. You guys have a great week. Keep hustling, and best wishes.
Get it, lay how I live it. Stand in the paint, on the move with my pivot. Never heard anybody killing in a minute. I really had to do it to the niggas. I really had to do it to the niggas.